and most importantly, God, for this opportunity to stand. For this opportunity to stand before you as guest speaker. I am honored to be here with you today for this graduation celebration that represents many different graduates from so many different levels of degrees and programs of study. I would like to start off on telling you a little secret, okay? And that's that all the graduates sitting here today reek. That's right, I said it. They reek of awesomeness, all right? They are giving off the smells of determination, dedication, perseverance, and now success. And let me tell you, I could smell it the whole way here, and I drive from Tampa, so that's a pretty good stench. All of these graduates know what it is like to strive toward a goal and acknowledge the outcome of their success. I am fortunate to represent my graduating class and have this opportunity to tell you about the obstacles I had to overcome in order to get right here, right now, where I stand. I can only hope that my story motivates you to work hard, to never, ever give up, and so that you can achieve your dreams. Since the moment I was born, the odds were against me. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, I was born in Newark, New Jersey to a 17-year-old first-time mom raising me as a single parent. I was a premature baby that weighed nearly 3 pounds, and I flatlined in the hospital twice. As a child, when money was tough, my mother and I would move from apartment to apartment because we could not afford a place to stay. And there were times when she would, since we couldn't afford a stable place, and there were times when she would have to take me to work because she could not afford a babysitter. So over time, things, eventually got better. And my mother met a great man named George, and they were able to make the best decision ever. Moving out of the gang and drug-infested area of Newark and into a much safer town called Belleville. Although this was a safer neighborhood and the school system was much better, the transition was not easy. As a consequence to my prior lack of education in Newark, I had to be retained twice in elementary school. As a result, I would always get into trouble, talk back. And let's just say parent-teacher conferences were as common to me as peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And at the tender age of 10, I wanted to give up. But by 5th grade, something changed that revolutionized my life. I met my teacher, Mr. Grad. He was the meanest teacher in all the school. At least that's what the other students were telling me. His classroom had such structure and lots of procedures and routines that constantly kept me in check. Little did I know, these were the same traits I would learn from my faculty in the elementary education program. Mr. Grad was the first to never give up on me and actually brought out my full potential. After getting that taste of success for the first time, I never looked back. I began to excel academically and started to enjoy coming to school for once in my life. This is one of the many reasons I chose to be an educator. record so that I may one day impact the lives of our future generation the way my life was impacted by Mr. Allen. Now, the successes of my 5th grade experience propelled me through middle school and even high school. I was one of the few people in my family to graduate from high school. And shortly after graduating, I attended a community college back in Newark. I began to realize that obtaining an education would be the only way I could make it in life. But there I was, right back where I started. And I had to become something other than just a statistic. I refused to be, in that neighborhood, the next obituary my friends and my family would read about. So I worked hard and strived to make A's and B's while working full-time. Then, through the help of family members, I got the opportunity to come to Tampa, Florida. Oh yeah. And I applied and was accepted at the University of South Florida. I still remember that day, July 5th, 2007. I just got finished working a 10-hour work shift right before I drove to Florida. I was determined to get out, to get to Florida, and make something of myself. During that 19-hour drive, I remember in my head telling myself, Joseph, I will not be a statistic. Once in Florida, I attended USF my freshman year. The classes were huge! Lecture halls of about 120 students and more. As a matter of fact, this would be considered a lecture hall. However, I felt I was just another number, and I became discouraged. I am not downplaying the University of South Florida. It is a well-renowned university. However, this wasn't for me. And in those moments, I became that 10-year-old little boy because I wanted to quit. Luckily, I remember that first taste of success, how good it felt, and how I wanted to impact the lives as Mr. Irati impacted mine. So I began researching other schools and was introduced to Kaiser University by a friend. And teaching was my passion. It had never left me. And I was told the campus in Sarasota offered education programs. So I chose to enroll in the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. Now, still living in Tampa, this is Sarasota by the way, still living in Tampa, I decided to make the 3-year drive every day. Since Kaiser's classes, which were much smaller, and so I could develop a professional relationship with my professors. And let me just say that finding immediate parking was a perk. I would drive 2 hours a day, round trip, to Sarasota versus the 5-minute around the corner drive. There were many times where I could not afford gas or food at the same time. So I would have to sacrifice by choosing to either fill up my stomach or fill up my tank. The sacrifices were not easy, and I am relieved I made the right decision. There were times where I would be at the campus from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, going straight to class. After class, clocking in for the work-study program and clocking out. Even though it was a struggle, I had to suck it up. The family I began to know at Kaiser encouraged me to keep going. Some days I would call my mother, 1,200 miles away. Mom, I can't do this anymore. I give up. So she would always tell me to never stop trying and to keep fighting no matter how hard it got. And that's exactly what I did. I value every one of those conversations. Mom, thank you so much.
Wow.
There's a comment I have between my mom and I always tell her, Mom, I love you like a fat boy loves cake, and that's a lot of love every time. The other day, I had a friend ask me what motivated me to succeed. And I told her about a video that I watched one night that encouraged me to finish. It was a speech by Eric Thomas on being successful. Eric Thomas was a professional football player who, like me, was also on a 7-year plan to graduate college. In his speech, he says this: when you want to succeed just as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. The reason I am here today is because I wanted to succeed just as bad as I wanted to breathe. And I thought that failure was not an option. Education is priceless and can never be taken away from you. It is never too late to obtain an education. Do not be discouraged on how long it will take you. It doesn't matter. Be smarter than a 5th grader. To the class of 2012, our education is just beginning the new careers and adventures lying ahead. We can never give up. We must always strive and pursue all of our dreams. In the words, as a matter of fact, President Reed, great minds think alike, and I have the same quote as President Reed. I'm just going to say it once more for those of you who may not have heard it. In the words of Marianne Williamson, I leave with you. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our light. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So we ask ourselves, who am I? Who am I to be gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Thank you.